Welcome back to Worlds 2011. Rich Hagan alongside the reigning US national champion, Ali Aintrazi.
Hi.
Ali, opening ceremony this morning must have been a great feeling to hoist the flag on home soil.
Oh, it was awesome. It was one of the best feelings I've had.
When we spoke before that, you were a little preoccupied with that and you weren't sure really what the day was going to hold. But here we are after 5 rounds. You got to 4-0, just had the first loss. And you're playing Solar Flare. For people who don't know Solar Flare, what's the overview of the archetype? What is Solar Flare?
It's a control deck that instead of countering everything and dropping a threat, it wants to play with the graveyard. It wants to put a creature in the graveyard and then try to reanimate it. And also, if people attack you with the graveyard, you can still just cast your threats. So it's a very, very nice deck.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the table, and we start right up at the top here with a counterspell suite. On the left, we've got 3 Dissipate, counter target spell, and if you do that, you get to exile it. So I guess that's pretty good against Chandra's Phoenix and things like that. And then the full set of mana leaks. Tell me about the balance of your counter spells. Why have you gone the way you have?
I think you always want 4 mana leaks before any Dissipates. Mana leak is just so solid. It's like so good overall. And Dissipate, it's another counter spell. It's better than the rest. The cancel and rebuttal. And like you said, it hits all the flashback cards. It hits Chandra's Phoenix, which is relevant, and just a hard counter, which is good.
So that's row 1. Now, of course, if you can't counterspell things, they're on the table. So you have to go to row 2. And this is our removal suite, but for different things. So we've got Doomblade, destroy target non-black creature. Oblivion Ring, that gets rid of anything that isn't a land. And then your classic board sweeper, Day of Judgment, in assorted foreign languages. We like the Japanese cards in this.
True.
So again, the balance of what you've got here. You've only got 1 Oblivion Ring. No go for the throat. What's the thinking with this package?
Doomblade, obviously this is for anything that slips by the counter suite. The Doomblade, I'd run the 4th Doomblade over the first go for the throat, just because Doomblade kills everything you want to kill. Like, it hits everything except the mono black deck, which isn't very popular. So again, just 4th Doomblade over the first go for the throat. Oblivion Ring, it just hits everything, and also have a way to tutor up. We'll get to that later. And Day of Judgment is just a Wrath. It beats green white, the illusion deck, and at lesser extent mono red.
Why 3? Why not 4?
Just 4 is just so clunky. Like, you want 4, but against the control decks you don't want it. Against the slower decks, it's just 3 is a good number to have in your deck.
Okay, so on we go to row 3. Now this is where the deck starts getting a little bit funky. We're dealing with the graveyard basically. So we've got Forbidden Alchemy, then in the middle Unburial Rites, and over here the simplest of the 3, Think Twice, because it is just draw a card, tell you what, let's do it again. So ignoring the Think Twice package, and then we've got Snapcaster Mage, of course, which really messes with all sorts of graveyard things. Talk us through your graveyard interactions.
Well, this is the heart of the deck. Forbidden Alchemy fuels you. It can as easily let you get a big creature in the graveyard, and then turn 4, reanimate it. This is just a reanimator. If they don't have Dissipate, it just keeps recurring. Against control decks, it's like an attrition battle. And if they don't Dissipate this, it's just a 2-for-1. Snapcaster, very solid creature. I would play more, but I don't believe I have enough targets for him. He's just very solid. And Think Twice is, like you said, very simple. Either you have Mana Leak or Think Twice. You choose which one to do.
Sure. So that's what's going to mess with the graveyard. Then we have, like many modern decks, a Planeswalker. It's Liliana of the Veil, looking all very spiffy and shiny. So what does she do for you?
She's the heart of the deck. She kills creatures when you want to kill them. She puts your big spells in your graveyard. She depletes your opponent's hand. I haven't yet used her ultimate, but just because like her first abilities are really good. If they have a creature, you just slam her -2. She's a threat. They have to kill her, or she starts eating away their hand. And your hand, you don't mind eating away, since you have so many flashback cards like Forbidden Alchemy, Unburial Rites, Think Twice. And your creatures, you don't mind being in the graveyard either.
So that's a prime example for people who are newer players at home. Magic has a lot of effects that appear to be equal. They appear to be fair to both sides, like each player discards a card. And the trick with this is to make sure that your discard is less of a problem than their discard. And that's exactly what Ali's saying. With all these different ways to actually put things in the graveyard, you're quite happy to. So we move on to row 5, and a motley collection of creatures. We got a Phantasmal Image in 1 color. Then we go to the double white commitment for Elesh, Norn, Grand Cenobite.
Or Lady Gaga.
Or Lady Gaga. then we've got something I can't read. Then we've got Consecrated Sphinx, because I can speak Russian. And then we've got a Grave Titan, because I can speak English. So, of these 5, the mystery card, here it is in the middle. What on earth does that say, and what on earth does this do?
This is your Rune-Scarred Demon. This guy's a 6/6 flyer for 7 that tutors for any card in your deck. It's a demonic tutor. So you can play it and you can get your one-ofs if you want, like Oblivion Ring.
Yep.
Or if you want, you get the Phantasmal Image, which will in turn copy the demon, getting you another card. With this, you can get Unburial Rites for more fuel, or a Sphinx, or a Grave Titan, or I guess green-white. If you want Elesh Norn, you get Elesh Norn. It's just a nice bullet. It gets anything you need. Ends the game.
How often do each of these win games for you? Is it all a pretty even spread, or are you generally looking at, basically, in a typical game, I'm looking at Elesh Norn, or is it very much matchup dependent? How do they work?
Today, hands down, it's been Elesh Norn.
Right.
She has been amazing throughout the whole day. Every deck I've played her against, they've just lost. They scoop her.
And that's because they've got all these little 1/1 tokens running around,
exactly.
and she gives them all -2/2, and they all pack up and go home.
Exactly.
Is the plan. All right,
That's
now,
correct.
along the bottom, I know a lot of you care about the mana base, so let's just walk you through left to right. 3 islands, 3 plains, 3 swamps, then we've got 3 Glacial Fortress, just a singleton Drowned Catacomb, okay, 4 Darkslick Shores, the full set, 4 Isolated Chapel, a couple of Ghost Quarters because there are some serious lands on the other side of the table, Gavany Township, Mormon Haunt, all sorts of things, and then 4 Seachrome Coast. So that's your mana base if you want to build this at home. And let's finally, Ali, let's just take a quick look at the sideboard over here on the left. There's the 4th Day of Judgment.
That's
when you're feeling like being clunky, because sometimes 4 just feels a little bit better, right?
That's correct.
4th Dissipate, 3 Mirran Crusader. What are they for?
The red-green ramp decks, they're really good against, and also the blue-black control decks.
Okay.
It's really good.
Once again, very lovely version of Jace Memory Adept from the Japanese version of that. A couple of Nephalia Drownyard. Again, what are those for?
This is for mostly control or the mirror match. Believe it or not, the mirror match, you want to mill them out. You do +1 a couple times, and then when you feel comfortable enough, you just start 10 them. Mill 10, mill 10, mill 10.
Okay.
Same with the Drownyard.
Yep, so that's all a package of mill. Timely reinforcements.
Wish I'd played one more.
Well, I tell you, one of the best names in Magic ever, because
It is
every
so
single time
Yes.
you play it, it really is
Yes.
timely reinforcements. And then Ratchet
true.
Bomb, presumably so many tokens, they all have converted mana cost of 0, so that's a pretty swift
It's
answer
also
to
really good
those.
against the green-white deck, like because all the flip cards, when they flip, they become 0. So Garo Galantless becomes 0, the
Sure.
Mayor becomes 0, the Waif becomes 0, like they all become 0, so it's nice.
Okay, and then finally we've got this little guy from M12, so this is Wring Flesh, right?
That's correct, yep.
Okay, so this is Solar Flare. As you can see, 3 colors, a lot of options. It's not an easy deck to play. Got to be straightforward about that, because in any format, it's always, in a way, easier to ask the questions than to have the answers.
That is correct.
But there's an awful lot of answers in this deck. You've got counter magic, you've got kill a guy, you've got take out enchantments or planeswalkers, you've got kill everything, you've got mess with the graveyard, you've got planeswalkers, you've got some very, very big threats. And right now, Aintrazi, the US national champion, is a very big threat at Worlds 2011. Ali, congratulations for leading the team so nobly
Thank
here
you.
on day
Pleasure.
1. Absolute pleasure. For Aintrazi, your US national champion, I'm Rich Hagan, saying bye.
Peace.